It's about the aesthetics, as Omamorki would say. The aesthetics, as I used to say a lot. People got very angry. They said, no, pig, stop it. I'd be like, what? You guys don't like it? Don't like it when I do my stasis traps all over the map? I hear the eternal screeching of Twitch chat, even from here. Alright guys, let's do it. Let's dive into this week's Liquid Rain I Cast Your Freaking Awesome Replays. And we are, of course, going to be casting the Bait and Switch Challenge. All last week, all of you lovely people who send in replays have sent me dozens and dozens of replays of you tricking your opponent into thinking they're winning the game and then, haha, surprising them and trying to bring it back, or at least bringing it close. I don't know if they were all wins, but apparently there's some flippy flops in these games is what we were looking for. Let's see how it goes. Up here in the top right, in the red, it is Anki. And down here in the bottom left, in the blue, is Sadvem Bill. Maybe Sadvem Bill is gonna send in a replay for next week's challenge. I just played a bunch of games there, playing the challenge, and of course, it was kind of nice. We played the upcoming challenge, which is We Need a Billy. We need a hero marine. A marine that deserves a name. A name like Billy. Oh my god, that barracks is in the Protoss base. Basically, get a hero unit, keep it alive as long as you can, give it a name and chat in the game, and send your replays in to me, guys. We played some fun games with that just now. We had a drone hero, we had an immortal hero, and we also had a roach hero. All of whom died. I was really bad at keeping my heroes alive. I got them all killed, but they all did more than a normal unit did. So they were like, they weren't like a general standing on like a fucking dragon overlooking his army. They were more like a pretty good lieutenant who gets in the thick of things, leads from the front of the combat, takes out about 6 or 7 dudes, and then unfortunately does take a spear to the guts. Nonetheless, I think it wasn't too bad. So anyway, we're casting the Bait and Switch Challenge. Right now, Sad Venomous Bill is proxying Marines and a bunker in the corner of the Protoss base. Holy shizzle fizz. That's dirty. Wait, didn't Ankle build a pylon here, which means he saw him come in the base earlier? Remind me to check the replay, guys. I'm pretty sure he saw an SCV walk into his base, go to the corner, and he just hasn't checked it. Oh no. Luckily, Anki's building a Zealot. I mean, that's a good start if these Marines try to come over to the minerals. And what are we going to see? Cybernetics core as well is going to be going down. Okay, all right. Back at home, we see Sad Venomous Bill does not know what an orbital command center is. I like it. And does have another barracks there as well. So, oh, he's gonna go a reactor as well. He's gonna start building infrastructure inside the main base of Anki. This is gonna be a like, hey mate, 5 minutes from now, I'm gonna take you down with 26 Marines from the corner of your main. Anki still has no idea and is like, you know what? Maybe I should scout. I'll send a Zealot across. We'll see what's going on. Funnily enough, there's actually no units at home. He's building a bunker, but there's nothing to put in it. So that Zealot, I feel like this is the level of game where we might see someone who doesn't know how to repair a wall. I'm hoping, guys. I'm hoping. This guy right here, he is a Chad, if I've ever seen one. He's so much... Oh, but he's afraid of ramps. Okay. He's a bit afraid of ramps. He has nightmares about going up ramps into Widow Mines. He's seen a lot of his friends die that way. He's like, oh, but he's going to overcome it. Okay, he's being commanded by the... He takes a look and he says, nah, not risking it, man. Not risking it. Runs away. Okay, I thought he was a Chad. This, in fact, may be an incel Zealot, guys. I'm sorry. This guy is now... I thought his name was Chad Jones or something like that. I think his name might be Captain Cuck. Yeah, he's just fucking standing there. He's given time for Marines. Captain Cuck for show. Meanwhile, a second bunker's up in the main. Still no idea about this. Marines still building to it. He's building a third bunker? Jesus Christ. There's 2 Stargates building right here. This is peak. This is what peak StarCraft performance looks like, guys. Oh my god. You know what? Anki's actually macroing so much better, though. Is that already at double the workers? Anki, I guess, could lose the whole main and still be ahead because Sad Venomous Bill still hasn't even got half the mineral line saturated in the main base at 4 minutes. Sad Venomous Bill's economic build-up has been sadly, venomously lacking, unfortunately. But he's got 3 bunkers in his opponent's main base, so it's not all bad. Anki's Stargate's finish, and let's go to Anki's camera. He looks up there and he says, "What the fuck is that?" No! He pulls the boys! He pulls the boys into 3 bunkers filled with Marines! Oh my god. Thankfully, that little voice in the back of his head that says, maybe this isn't a good idea, he does decide to listen to it. Now, Anki, Sad Venomous Bill could take out these Stargates and get Marines over here, but is struggling with the load-unload function of these bunkers a little bit. One of those Stargates is going to go down. Anki says, haha. Sad Venomous Bill says, easy. Okay, yep, we can see why he's a happy camper. He likes to proxy in his opponent's main and then immediately start shit-talking. This is impressive. You know, the other week, a few months ago, I went and played some Dota for the first time in a long time. And I even queued a few random games. That's right, I played a team game against people who I didn't know, with people I didn't know, without a group of friends. It was fascinating, because it's been a long time since I've really looked at the depths of the Bronze League, you know? In the video game. I don't get to see the players at that level very much, but it was an eye-opening experience. I got to see the fucking gigantic balls of the bottom of the barrel. Like, I was playing Dota, and it was amazing. Like, the egos were actually, I would say, 2 to 3 times as big as most professional gamers. And pro gamers have a lot of issues with their ego, guys. It was amazing. Most of the teamwork consisted of stealing each other's kills, shouting at each other in chat, and telling each other they were playing the game wrong. And I feel like Sad Venomous Bill may have come from the Dota community, because he's here, he's playing at a blitzing 43 APM, he's built a few bunkers in the main, and he's already shit-talking. For him, the pleasure of StarCraft isn't about strategic victory, it's not about outthinking your opponent, it's about not just winning, but remember, as Maynard explained, there are some people whose dream is to go to a live event, the big stage, the BlizzCon finals. It's 3-3, tied up, we're going to the final ace match. Who will be victorious? Serral, Stats, which one? And there's one guy in the audience. Who is it? It's Sad Venomous Bill off the ladder. And he's in the audience and he's shouting deeply, just at that moment, when Serral has his headset off. You're losing! And with that one moment, he feels like he's going to be able to bring some happiness into his life, and he's also going to help out Serral. He's going to say, you're down a map. I need to tell you. I need to let you know. I'm the guy whose pleasure in video games comes from spreading my own toxic bad attitude around. I am like if you took a whole bunch of shit, stirred it up in a pot, put it on the boil for a few hours, that would basically be a good metaphor for my personality. Meanwhile, Anki, on the other hand, has taken it like a champ, has said, nice one, you're obviously better than me, smiley face, has just taken a chill pill, is sitting here with a big smile on their face, and Anki's like, you know what, I just gotta like build more expansions, like in other places and stuff, like, what else, man? I mean, I got 43 APM as well, it's almost tied in the APM. Sad Venomous Bill right now is like, get fucked, get fucked, get fucked. I got my 2,000 gas unupgraded Marine play because I'm a beast. He's like, yeah, I'm fucking killing everything. I'm winning this game. He's starting to feel a twitch in his pants. That's how excited he's getting. Meanwhile, Anki's just like, yeah, it's cool, man. I watched some Florencio files. I'm pretty sure I know how to play. I'm just gonna make a couple Stargates down here. I got a Chad Ray alive. I got a couple Zealots. Yeah, we chill, we chill. Now, what's really impressive is when players get this cocky, what you'll find is my favorite part about the next part of their play is they're so cocky that usually at this point, they immediately assume their opponent's just either hiding buildings or something like that. So I really have got my eyes on what is Sad Venomous Bill's scouting like. What's he going to look at around the map here? I think he's going to prioritize shit talking, is what I would imagine. He's building tanks and bunkers on one base back home, which is an interesting decision. He's still got 4 bunkers in the main. He's going to put 3 Marines on the high ground. The rest of his army's just sitting there. Let's try and get inside the mind of Bill right now. He's like, I want to take your expansion, but I'm going to build a depot first. I better keep mining gas fully at home so I can build 1 tank every 5 minutes. And he's going to move his Marines around. Now, remember, guys, we want to check the control groups of both players. Neither one has any control groups. That's fine. So Sad Venomous Bill here is going to come find this base. Okay, fantastic. The Marines are going to come in with a concave. And I think right now, okay, so he's gonna, oh, you see that? He just sent some Marines to the top left. Oh, he's actually scouting. He's actually scouting. So what's the bet? He sends every Marine to the same base. Yeah. He's like, split up and scout multiple areas? No. It's time to shit talk while I search one corner of the map at a time. Split me units up? I don't know how to do that. I find this game very easy, says Bill. Probably because you're good. I'm not good, I'm a god. Learn to fucking spell. You spelled God wrong. You spelled God wrong. Bill's there. He's like, this is the greatest fucking moment of my life. I'm so excited right now. I'm so excited. I feel like I often tell people when you're climbing the mountain and you're hitting the top of that mountain and you feel better than you've ever felt before and your ego feels puffed up and you feel like a god, I always say you should probably prepare yourself for something. Because if there's one thing experience in life has taught me, is that when you're at the top of the mountain, there's only one direction to go. And yes, that's right. Sad Venomous Bill right now is very aroused. He's very turgid. He's touching himself a little. He's stroking himself. He's feeling really good about it. He's like, I've got this fucking game. I won the game. He's even split units into a separate direction. And he's going to come down here and find 4 Chad Rays and a pack of Zealots. Now, let's see how Bill reacts here, because I think for a player like Bill, even at this point, you still don't fully realize that you've screwed the pooch. You still don't fully realize that you've let your opponent actually have a bigger economy than you all game, and even though you've killed a ton of stuff, your opponent has a critical mass of Chad Rays, and you still haven't made a single upgrade in this entire game. I feel like Sad Venomous Bill, even though he's made an expansion, he's building random missile turrets, random tanks and depots. He's still building turrets around his main. I'm not sure there's a lot of method to the madness of Bill, other than make Marines in my opponent's base, then tell them they're losing just in case they didn't know, and then shit talk them some more while I attack move me Marines around the map. Now, I feel like if these Marines don't win the game, we're going to see Sad Venomous Bill start to realize that he is in a deep, deep well of emotional despair. I feel like this really is his crutch right now, the Marines that he builds inside the corner of his opponent's main base. Let's see how he handles this next step, because I don't know if that's enough to take down that many Zealots and Chad Rays. I dare say a pack of unupgraded Marines is not the best thing to have this deep in the game. That being said, he's going to come in. He's going to find it. All right. He says, all right, okay, found one of your bases. I'm going to fuck your probes up, mate. Anki with the quick reaction gets those probes out of there. And Anki says, you know what? I think it's time to stand and fight. You've killed 3 of me bases so far. You're going for a 4th. Welcome to getting pissed on by a pack of Chad Rays and sliced and diced by a couple of Zealots. And we see the Marines click on the Nexus and they get it to 34 hit points. They don't take it down. And Sad Venomous Bill right now has to dig deep and go for a transition, which so far seems to be mass siege tank. There's as many siege tanks as there are Marines here. Oh, he's actually focusing on his macro now. You can tell because he's queued up 10 Marines at a time, because that's how you macro really well. Previously, he was macroing really badly. He was only queuing up 1 tank and 2 Marines at a time. Comes in with another Marine counterattack. Surprised that his first attack of 30 Marines didn't work. He decided an expert killer squad of 3 Marines might do the trick. When that doesn't work, Bill is left scratching his head, and he glances over at his second monitor, and he says, maybe I can learn something from watching my favorite pro gamer. I've got his stream open right now, looks at his second monitor, and he sees that apparently Avillo's just been beaten by another hacker, and he says, oh, you only won because you didn't play the game. You're trash. Blizzard's made the game Imbalance. Terran's very weak. Protoss is very powerful. He's mentally making some notes on some of his excuses. He's got those ready. He's also, of course, he's got his preparations going. But he says, you know what? I'm not ready to capitulate just yet. I'm going to come in with a nice little run-by. Well, it's more like a walk-in than a run-by, isn't it? They walk in, snipe the Nexus, and then they all do pay with their lives. Oh my god, Disruptors. Oh! Disruptors? But this is a 40 APM game. Guys, I've seen Diamond players who only friendly fire themselves with Disruptors. This is like a silver or bronze game. Oh my god, Anki is about to either be the best micro player in bronze and silver, or he's going to friendly fire his entire army. I gotta say, if I was one of these Zealots, I don't care what sort of armor this is, how good me laser blades are. I'm fucking worried. If I'm standing in a fucking company with a couple of Chad Rays and a pack of Zealots, and there's 2 balls next to us, I mean, normally in a human anatomical situation, I know the balls don't pose a threat to the dick. In this case, they do. When you get to Bronze League, there's all sorts of shit that can go wrong. Things can get wrapped around other things. There can be all sorts of torsion going on. Things can bruise. You can accidentally bruise yourself. You've got to watch out. These are an advanced mechanic. They're very, very advanced. I'm very worried. I've got to keep my eyes on those balls because I feel like we might see a little bit of a friendly teabag going on at some point in this game, guys. These Marines coming in on this base. Let's see. Anki. Oh no, another base in the open. These Marines constantly coming. I'm actually starting to really like these run-bys from Sad Venomous Bill. He's actually getting a little bit of damage. It's actually kind of adorable. Meanwhile, we can see that Sad Venomous Bill with a sound understanding of income completely mined out the gas in the main, and before getting pretty much any workers on minerals, has fully saturated one of these gases and taken the second one in the second base. Still at 30 SCVs, and with another Marine run by, a couple of Vikings come in. They kill 1 Chad Ray. Oh my god, that was a pretty good trade, guys. I think that was 4 Vikings, 8 Marines for 1 Chad. That seems fair, right? Let's sacrifice about 10 Terran for every Protoss. Yeah, that's right, guys. This is some enemy at the gates shit. That's Sad Venomous Bill's strat. It's like, well, if I just 1 rifle to every 2 men, let's do it, man. You're like, oh fuck, why did I sign up to the fucking goddamn Terran army? This is shit. Okay, Chads are gonna come in, gonna start to fight those missile turrets. Missile turrets not bad against Chads, but when you've got that many Chads, they can just align their piss beams, cross the beams, no fucks given. But here we go. Uh-oh, here come the balls, the Zealots. They're walking into tank fire. Oh no, one of the balls gets crushed, the other 2 heavily bruised. Oh god. And Anki says, god damn, it's been years since I've been in high school and been sack-whacked. But unfortunately, the memories of high school and his friends coming up to him secretly and just whacking him in the sack come back there with that bruising from those tanks. Immediately pulls back and says, okay, let's choose the engagements a little bit better. Not really a fan of that game from the school days. Says, you know what? Boarding school was tough. I don't want to relive that. We're going to stay away from the siege tanks. We're going to make flying units, which the siege tanks can't actually attack. A couple of carriers up there. It looks like Vikings building here in this starport. And we've still got, what, 2 starports down here building a Viking or 2. There's almost no minerals for Bill. And Bill's trying to build depots right now. And he's completely out of mining in the main. So Bill here running up against a wall of his own economic making, I believe, where he's mined out his main, hasn't really got mineral mining here, and is just making random production. And remember, guys, just to put this in perspective, neither of these players is using a single control group, so there is no way for them to actually do anything other than clicking on the minimap, clicking on a structure, and I would not be surprised if full Florencio style, they're clicking in the bottom right to build individual units. So Sad Venomous Bill has his production split between 2 opposite corners of the map. I also wouldn't be surprised if rather than actually clicking on the minimap, he's going like this. I would not be surprised if he's scrolling across the entire map on 20% mouse scroll speed, clicking on a starport and queuing up some Vikings. Oh god, the bunkers are all full. There's 16 Marines. Or 12, 13 Marines just chilling. I mean, they don't even have upgrades, right? So these Marines are literally a terrible unit at this stage of the game. But Bill does continue to build them. Hasn't realized the liftoff function could be used here to mine from that base. Instead, has made the SCVs have the worst commute to and from work. Man, this is like driving into Sydney from Newcastle every day. It's like, dude, that's like 2.5 hour drive each way. Why would you do that? And rather... This is a mobile home. Bill, you live in a fucking trailer. You know you can attach it to a car and drive it to the other city, right? He's like, nah, I've got to buy a new trailer. Do you not understand how it works? It's a fucking trailer. Drive it to the new base. Bill's like, no, I want a second trailer. I want to be a classy Terran with multiple trailer homes. I'm like, okay, buddy. You do it your way. Meanwhile, Anki, re-expanding to his own natural, no fucks given, has carriers out, by the way. We've got like 4 carriers, couple of disruptors, a pack of Chads. The disruptors have still not been fired once. I feel like these are ornamental disruptors. I feel like they're just there because they're shiny. It's like these are the standards of the Protoss, you know? The battle flag, they're just kind of like waving it. It's for morale purposes. The Chads are going to come up. Oh, wow, there's even a rando Colossus in here. I love it. Missile turret goes down. A few Vikings, and I love this defense, by the way. It's just like randomly spread out turrets, bunkers in the back, and a single Viking. These disruptors going to fire. I really want to see these disruptors fire, guys. I don't think he's going to do it. Please, 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 please. I want to see that friendly fire. I want to see that testicular torsion. I want to see these disruptors just try to kill their own units. Oh, he uses one, and he hits a missile turret. Okay, I'm actually really proud. That is honestly the best disruptor usage I have ever seen in bronze or silver. Normally, it's just kill your own army, and that's it. That was actually very safe. So hats off to Anki. Unfortunately, not delivering. I wanted to see something a little bit more embarrassing and thereby entertaining. Oh no, the Colossus and Carrier! All the interceptors over here have died to those Marines in the bunker. These units getting damaged, and out come the other carriers. Oh, another disruptor shot! And it hits nothing, which, as I said, once again, better than I expected. I really was expecting disruptors to be landing on their own units, but Anki here is surprising, showing some impressive control, and is going to siege down these bunkers rather than attack moving with this gigantic fleet. Is like, you know what? 3 bunkers, probably a bit too much. I'm going to leave that there for now. Meanwhile, sad Venomous Bill is building a planetary fortress on the natural and is still just massing turrets everywhere. A Villos stream really teaching Terrans how to play the game properly. You just build more turrets and tanks behind a wall. That's Terran, apparently. I like it, because he's got the Marines in the corner of the main, so he's probably watched a little bit of like U-Thermal or something, doing like a crazy proxy attack. But he's mixed that with like his Avillo inspiration with how he plays Terran. So it's like it's like you've got the turtliest, most defensive, slowest expanding combined with the cheesiest opening. It's like, this is like if you go to a fancy dinner and you're wearing like an $8,000 tux, but then rather than bringing a bottle of wine, you bring literally a goon bag. You bring a foil sack of cooking wine that you got for $3.50 with a discount coupon. And the people like, and you're like, oh, hi, I thought I'd bring some beautiful, tasty wine for the dinner. And they're like, oh, what? That's a sack of shit. But you're wearing an $8,000 tux and you look like a movie star. This is a very confusing interaction I'm going through right now. And I feel like that was Bill's entire build order, right? You know, the open up, be a bit of a dickhead, whilst being really cheesy, and then just mass turrets and like tanks and Vikings and just sit there and hope your opponent leaves, I guess. Real mixture of inspirations. Something there, bit of the cheese, bit of the filth, bit of the refinement, all mixed in one. Meanwhile, Anki, I believe, is really one of those people who's a food critic. We're talking about the sort of person who eats a sandwich and starts talking about the woody aromas. You know? Where you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's a bologna sandwich, mate. And he's like, yes, well, I can taste hints of oak and fresh balsamic tunes. And you're like, you're just making up words, mate. You know, Anki's here. He's spending way too long. He's eating a fucking pizza crust and he's talking about the chewiness of the yeast or some shit. And you're like, okay, buddy, just finish your fucking hot dog for $2 off the side of the road. It's okay. We don't need a critic. Anki's like, no, I'm going to enjoy every single bite of this salty Terran snack. He's like, I sense not only a hint of salty deliciousness, but there's also undertones of frailty and patheticness, which I really relish in this mix because, you know, when you start off a dish and it comes in hard and fast with flavor of bunkers in the corner of your main, on its own, it can be quite challenging, a little bit confronting for the senses. But when you then add in this salty aroma and you start to realize the sad, frail underbelly of your Terran opponent and their incel nature, you start to realize that it really completes the whole flavor experience. It's not simply a bunker rush in the corner of your main, but it's a bunker rush expressing the frailty of man. And not only that, but the ego and how it can undermine a player's entire strategy. And Anki here is just tasting it, you know, really enjoying the deep depths of the flavors and savoring this moment of, remember in the chat log, Easy was the first thing that Bill said in this game after revealing the proxy bunkers in the main base. Anki now is saying, is it easy? I feel like, yeah, this is easy. It is easy when I slowly place my balls on your face. It is, isn't it? Anki's just kind of like, yeah, I am having a good time. Are you having a good time, buddy? Do you like Dicktown? I like taking you to Dicktown. Come on, let's go. That's right. Look at me army. Clicks on the battle cruiser. High level micro there from Anki. Doesn't matter at all. Is going to fly over and say, welcome to Dicktown. We have the aroma of gooch for all, mate. Enjoy the spicy, spicy flavors of your own defeat after shit talking. This is what happens, mate. How do you like it? I play the balanced race. I play Protoss. Get out of me game, you whiner. Walking the Colossi into the planetary fortress for a little bit of shits and gigs. Lets the planetary survive for a few extra seconds before killing it. All the missile turrets are going down, and Bill is left here. And really, it's interesting, because the last thing he said was, I'm a god. And, oh, maybe it's like a sort of, is it like a messiah sort of thing? He's sacrificing his own MMR to save Anki from his ego and his Protoss folly. Is maybe he said he was a god, so I'm guessing he chose to lose. He must have chose to lose. Couldn't have been that he was betrayed by his own cocky douchebagginess. I don't know. I don't think that's even a possibility.
Yes.
Definitely a high-rated win there from Anki, managing to take down a Terran god. Something most of us could only dream of. GG, well played, Anki. That was a beautiful replay. Maybe he's making a deep philosophical statement that he thinks God is dead. I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of interpretations of that last game, and I think they all come down to the fact that Bill is a genuine A-grade top-class human. Because, as I said earlier on, you know, this is just so reminiscent of when I hopped into Dota at 0 MMR, and I was playing these guys, and every single one of them was like, I'm the fucking best. And you're like, it's like when you see someone who's like 100, like someone who's like 50 kilograms, like 110 pounds, not an ounce of muscle on them, but they're like acting like they could beat the shit out of anyone, you know? Like, it's just that, like, you're like, there's some cognitive dissonance going on here, right? I think there's like a gap between how you see the world and how the world actually is. Like, I don't know, man. This is a little bit weird. GG, well played though. Great submission there for that first game of today's Icyfar. Guys,